Hi, this is Jason with Violet Comics Collectibles coming at you with another comic review. This time we're taking a look at the Captain America Volume 5, issue number 25. And this is the Death of Captain America. And this is the Civil War epilogue, which is the epilogue to the 7-part Civil War series. And this is published in April 2007 from Marvel Comics. So the first thing we're going to do is take a closer look at the cover, and then we're going to do a little bit of a synopsis. So the beginning of the comic starts off with a reporter recapping most of the events of the superhero Civil War and the surrender of Captain America. Outside the New York federal courthouse, Captain America is going to be arraigned there, and Julie Taylor reports that Rogers' hearing is broadcast live on all major networks from New York in lieu of military tribunal to allow for full transparency. Outside the courthouse, a large split group gathers outside and has members of S.H.I.E.L.D. that are mixed in with that are going to be acting out a plan of Nick Fury's. So in this crowd is Sharon Carter, and she's talking to Nick Fury, and she's refusing to see Captain America in prison, and she's reminiscing about him on newsreel footage as a child with her Aunt Peggy. His Aunt Peggy, worked with him and loved him, and now she was working with him and fell in love with him, herself years later. Across the street, Nick Fury tells the Winter Soldier to keep an eye on Carter just in case she needs help on the ground. And when the transport arrives carrying Captain America, who is unmasked but in full costume, Bucky is basically raging about people forgetting all the things that Captain America has done and reflects back on how great of a person Captain America was. So Captain America is being walked through the crowd, and a tomato is thrown in his face, and when that happens, he notices a sniper in a window. And watching on television is Dr. Fautus, and his attempts to have a Red Skull call off the sniper because he notices, but he's shouted down by General Lucan since he won't be able to save himself. So the shot is fired as planned, and it hits Captain America, and it goes right through the back of his neck, exiting out in the throat. The crowd starts to scatter, and the guards are yelling that there's a sniper. And the Winter Soldier, after talking to Fury, takes off in the direction that the shot was fired. 3 more shots are heard point blank and into Captain's stomach. Sharon Carter grabs and cradles Captain America and is yelling for help. And Captain America uses his energy to tell her to get the crowd to safety to prevent any more innocent people from getting hurt. Falcon swoops down on scene, and he's flying through the numerous helicopters, and the Winter Soldier makes his way from one building to the next looking for the sniper. He reports back to Nick Fury that the target has already left and is asking him to track him with satellite when Falcon flies through a building skylight and mistakes Winter Soldier for the shooter, and he has to convince him that he's not the shooter. After getting more information from Nick Fury, the Winter Soldier asks Falcon if he can fly and carry him, and he starts to strap on his mask. The next part of the comic shows paramedics loading Captain America, who's bleeding and semi-conscious, into an ambulance while Fury offers Carter solace. Falcon and the Winter Soldier fly towards a helicopter. Nick Fury informs them that he picked up the shooter on satellite, and it's Crossbones, who first attempts to outfly them in a helicopter, and the Winter Soldier shoots out the tail of the helicopter, and Crossbones jumps into Winter Soldier out of Falcon's arms, and they tumble through a billboard to the top of a building and begin fighting. Sin is watching from the nearby Mercy Hospital. She calls her father to report the fight and offers Crossbones assistance, but he's told to leave and get back into the hospital and be ready. Winter Soldier pounds Crossbones and demands Red Skull's location, but he's told go die and mocked as he knocks Crossbones out. Falcon lands on the roof and warns Winter Soldier to get lost because he knows that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be coming and they're going to be loading the area with Cape Killers. And he asks Falcon to go by Cap's sites, and someone needs to be out there and watch for him. The ambulance is en route to the hospital still, and Steve Rogers tells Sharon that she is so pretty, and he takes his breath away. And then the paramedics start to yell that they need to hurry because they're losing him. The next shot of the comic shows News 10, and they report that Captain America was announced dead on arrival. In a hospital waiting room, Falcon, he laments on his friend's death and, remembering all the things they've done, and, he still considers, Captain America a brother, even though they kind of drifted apart. And inside a bathroom, a disguised Sin approaches Sharon Carter and tells her a doctor wanted to tell her something. Then he says, Dr. Fadis says, remember. That remember word causes Sharon to black out, and it flashes back to Captain America lying on the steps, and she recalls, it was her that shot him in the stomach. She was basically brainwashed, and recalling this information, she causes her to collapse in the bathroom, and she's crying, saying, what did I do? What did I do? And that ends the issue. I love this comic. This is a really, really cool comic. So it's got a lot of action in it. So obviously at the beginning, Captain America is going to be arraigned. He gets shot through the back of the neck, and then he also gets shot 3 more times. Pretty brutal stuff in this comic. And then, a chase ensues with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and they find, Crossbones is one of the shooters, and then, Captain America is announced, dead on arrival, and there's that picture where they kind of show Captain America in the body bag with his arm hanging. It's a pretty graphic thing, to see, a hero like that and how they killed him off in the comics. I really like the cover of this. I mean, it's pretty much shows you how it is. It's got, Captain America, Death of a Dream on it. It's got him with the handcuffs, he's like a prisoner, and, really, really good stuff in this comic. Now, obviously, he does not stay dead very long. Most comic book characters, when they die, they're really not dead forever. I mean, you can go down the list of different characters that have died and come back, and he's no different. I mean, it seems like the only real comic book characters that die and have stayed dead is like, Peter Parker's Uncle Ben is probably like one of the few that's been dead and never come back. But, a really popular comic. I love this. And they also have alternative covers. So they have one with one of the more popular alternative covers is this one right here, which just shows Captain America, and it's just the variant edition. And they have a couple other variants as well. And I think they did 2 or 3 printings of this comic as well. But one of my more favorite modern comics, and a culmination of the Civil War and what the consequences and the price that was paid for the Civil War series. But once again, this has been Jason with Filer Comics Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time.